Hi, how you doing? I had a lovely phone call from a friend of mine at the weekend after he saw one of my videos. And as I said in the video, if you have any questions, give me a shout. And he had a question. And here I am making a video about it. So yeah, if you've got any questions, don't forget to shout out. And who knows, I might be making a video for you. His question was one which I hear a lot of. On that day that he asked the question, I also saw on a forum another post that was about the same subject, and it's backing tracks. How do you get backing tracks and use backing tracks in a live situation? He works with various function bands and cover bands, and they are providing him with backing tracks, but it's such an old, antiquated system that he's using, or I should say they're using. You've probably come across it yourself. It's that famous backing track situation where it's a stereo feed. You've got track on the one side and the click on the other. And for a drummer, that immediately puts us on the back foot. So he said, you know, what's a good system to use? And also, is there a system where you can loop round sections so you're not just stuck in the one section? For some of you, you know this, you know, but there are a vast number of players that don't know this. And this is for you guys. And also for those that do know, it might be something that you haven't thought of before. To answer your question, yes, there is. There's absolutely a way around this. As you know, if you've been following me, if you're aware of my approach to electronic drumming, I use a playback system called Ableton. There are other systems out there. I have tried other stuff. I've tried Logic. I have a system where I can use Logic, but it's nowhere near as simple as using Ableton, and it still means that I have to touch keyboards and go over to the computer. With Ableton, I can just leave it. Everything's done from the kit. I can control everything from here, changing songs, changing sounds, changing banks. It's great, it really is. So, this is how it works. I've loaded in a track in Ableton. I've used a Linkin Park track called Paper Cut. And what I've done is I've just very quickly cut it up into sections, as you can see on the screen. I've got an intro, I've got an intro guitar section, there's the paper cut main groove, then there's a verse and a chorus. And what Ableton allows you to do then is to MIDI map to its screen. The DTX12M, the multipad that I have sitting in front of me, I use predominantly as a controller. That controls the computer for me. That allows me to hit things and it will go to various instructions and commands within Ableton and carry out those actions. I try and keep everything the same, so when I look at the pad, I know where my start, stop and verse, chorus, break sections are. Otherwise it gets confusing. If your start pad is up here on one track and then it's down here on another, and then your stop's over here but then on another track it's over here, it's really confusing. It's common sense. Keep everything in the same place. So I always have my start and stop button down here, okay, on pad number 12. Up here I have the stages. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I go through the pads from left to right depending on what I have going on. I map this to the intro, and I map it to the master scene, not to the clip, but to the master scene. Because when I'm using backing tracks, normally for me, I don't just have a stereo track. I will have everything broken down. So you'll have drums, you'll have bass, you'll have guitars, you'll have keys, you'll have vocals, backing vocals, strings, effects, and God knows what else, all the way along. You know, you might be running 24 stems, you might be running 8 stems, who knows? But each of those stems I have separately. Therefore, if anything needs to change on any one of those stems, it only needs to be done to that one stem. I don't have to then replace all the rest of them. It also means that I can send out to the front of house a nice mix of stuff which they can mix themselves according to the room that you're in. Every room is different, you know? So I map this to the master scene of the intro break. The next scene along is with a guitar break, so I map that to the next scene along, and so on and so forth. Once that's done, it's purely a case of just triggering them and they start. And this will just keep going. This will keep playing until I tell it otherwise, until I tell it to stop or to go to the next section. Now moving on to the next section, Ableton Live has a really great Quantize function on the top menu bar. And what that allows you to do is it allows you to set how soon you would like that next scene to come in. How soon that is in Quantize to the tempo that you're running. For instance, I have it set up for 1 bar at the moment. So wherever I hit the next scene in the bar leading up to where I want it to change, it will then change on the downbeat of the preceding bar. For instance, if I want it to come in on this next bar now, and I hit it now, it comes in, okay? If I want to go back, 1, 2, 3, 4, goes back. So I'm hitting it on the 2, but if I hit it on the 3, it will do the same. 1, 2, 3, 4. If I hit it on the 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. If I hit it on the 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Or if I'm in the 4 and, so 1, 2, 3, 4 and, it goes. But if I hit it on the 1 of the next beat, it won't change. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, and now it will change. Okay? So the 1 bar is the Quantize that will bring it in. You can have it set up to none. If it's set up to none, it will change immediately. What happens there though is you will start to move out of time with your grid. If you're out of time with your grid, if you're running effects, anything like that, the effects aren't going to be in time. Running it this way, it means that everything stays lovely, tight and in time. Okay? This will keep going. So you can go back to these points at any time during the track. So if we go here, and then we want to bring the whole track in, I'm back to the beginning. As long as there's communication going on between you and your band, you can still control everything that's going on here. And once again, as far as reliability goes, this is running fine. It hasn't crashed, everything's good. That's how you can control Ableton Live, and you can have songs which just do what you want them to do, rather than you being rigid to the song. I hope this has shed a little bit of light for you as to what can be done once again with eDrums and also with software such as Ableton Live. If you'd like to know more, shoot on over to tugted.com. I have a book coming out which is the first written, which explains all this stuff in the simplest form and gets you up to speed with what's going on in the electronic drum world, a world that is evolving by the day at the moment. It's fantastic, very exciting. Thanks for watching. And as I said at the beginning, if you have any questions regarding anything to do with electronic drums, please shoot them over. Give me a message, call me up, get hold of me, however, and ask your questions. And who knows, you know, next week I may be making a video about your question. Thanks for watching, and look forward to seeing you all again soon. See ya.